Hey, how you doing, Econ students? This is Mr. Clifford. Welcome to ACDC Econ. In the previous video, I defined the different types of costs: fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, and marginal cost. You used the chart to calculate each one of these, and you also calculated the average cost curves: average variable cost, average fixed cost, and average total cost. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go back because you're going to need that for what we're going to do right now. Because right now, we're going to find out what these cost curves look like on the graph. If you plotted the total cost, you'd come up with a graph just like this. Right here, the horizontal line is fixed cost, and then right here is variable cost. Now, since fixed cost plus variable cost equals total cost, the total cost curve would look like that. You might see this graph on a test, but really it's not as important as the per unit cost curves. I'm talking about marginal cost, average total cost, average variable cost, and average fixed cost. The per unit cost curves look like this based on the calculations we did in the previous video. First is the average fixed cost. Notice how it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's an asymptote. That's because you're taking the fixed cost, which is a set amount, and dividing it by larger and larger quantities. So the average fixed cost is going to keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Next up is the marginal cost curve. Marginal cost always goes down and up because the law of diminishing marginal returns. Average variable cost goes down and up, and it hits marginal cost at average variable cost minimum point. The average total cost also goes down and back up, and it hits marginal cost at ATC's minimum. Notice the vertical distance right here is the same as the vertical distance right there. That's because the average fixed cost plus the average variable cost equals the average total cost. Now let's talk about how you're going to actually use this graph. You might get a question on a test that says, how much does the fifth unit cost? To figure that out, just go straight up from 5 units. The graph tells you the marginal cost of producing 5 units is $20. The average total cost of 5 units is $14. The average variable is 12, and the average fixed is 2. Again, remember, the average fixed of 2 plus the average variable of 12 equals the average total of 14. But the best part of this graph is the fact that you can use it to calculate total costs. For example, you know that each one of those 5 units costs $14 on average. Well, how much does 5 units cost in total? What's the total cost of 5 units? Well, it's $70. It's that box right there. That's the total cost. Of that $70, how much is variable and how much is fixed? To figure that out, all you gotta do is go up to the average variable cost at 5 units, which is $12. 12 times 5 is 60. So that box right there of $60 is the variable cost of producing 5 units. If the variable cost is 60 and the total cost is 70, then the fixed cost must be 10. That's the average fixed cost of $2 times 5 units gives me $10 of fixed costs. That's the box right there. Yeah, all right, I kind of like this. I'm getting into cost curves. I kind of like it. Yeah, cost curves. Woo! Cost curves, cost curves, cost curves. You're going to be using these cost curves a whole lot, so feel very comfortable calculating the total, variable, and fixed costs. What you're going to find out is that not all 4 of these curves are equally important. The real important ones are marginal cost and average total cost. Those are the ones you're going to be drawing a whole lot. I hope this video helped you understand cost curves. Make sure to check out the next video. It's going to talk about the shape of those cost curves, and check out my review app for the AP exam, all right? Till next time.